Greetings, greetings. I am on live. I wanted to come on here briefly to give some messages. I'm being pulled to give some messages. Happy full moon. It's the blood moon. Leo in eclipse energies, very powerful energies. I want to make sure I can get to here to read messages. Okay. Welcome, welcome. So I just wanted to share a message today on what is the significance of this time frame. For the past several days, I've been going through some heaviness, and it's like we're in a portal. We are in a portal. It's not even like we are in a portal. We're in a portal of change. We're in a portal of transformation. And that transformation requires more than what we anticipated than ever before. It has been very intense. I wanted to come on here very briefly as much as I can because I wasn't planning to come on, but Spirit was pulling me like, should I just do something regular with my voice? And then Spirit says, no, do this way. So now I'm on here, and I just wanted to give the message so that way you have a greater even understanding of what's happening. And it's just so much information to share, but at least wanted to tell you that from what I've been going through, because I'm going to speak from my own experience, and I always put the pieces together so everything makes sense for what is happening with me and also what may be happening with you. And also based it on phone calls that I've received for either readings or whatever's happening on, both sides of the spectrum, so to speak. And so the intensity of this portal is what we are releasing from everything that had come up for you from the time that the eclipse started with Leo and Aquarius from 2017, which was from February of 2017. And I can honestly remember what I was going through from that time. I remember I was going through some changes that were happening relationship wise. Then I was also facing the August of 2017. It culminated when it came to the relationship dynamic with my divine complement. Then after that, I went through changes with what's happening with my home and being eclipsed out of that energy. Also vehicles. I mean, it was just nonstop for me. So, and it was like death, it's like every single aspect was death. Then I also dealt with my my aunt passing away. So many of us are going through all of the things that look like and appear as chaos, and it is through the chaos that we are having to pay attention. This is how source gets us to pay attention to what is happening in your life and what has to be released out of your life. There's also been changes with your friendships and who you may be friends with, or what is not serving you any longer when it comes to these friendships, or maybe someone you work with, or if it is your marriage, or whatever it is that's breaking down. There's also so much that's been happening from the time the lunar eclipse started, January. From the time the beginning of the year started, I was already purging very deeply, and it was past life memories I was having to do with my twin, and the telepathic communication has increased, with both of them. And also what was happening in a shared energy, I was having also palpitations in my heart, and I was feeling heart activations. And so Spirit was telling me that there's an expansion that was happening, and what also was coming online energetically between myself and also with them and others. There's also things that have been happening to do with, I would say generationally, the generational curses, what we call the generational curses, which is stemming from the things that we have had within us from the beginning of the time that we incarnated in the physical body. And that has to do with everything that has been taught when it comes to, when we have been enslaved. And, it's the mental, the physical, and the emotional slavery. And what that entails is what is deep in the root of the subconscious mind that has been passed on from family and generations. And part of that cycle that is ending with that is the pain of feeling enslaved, and what happened before the downfall came through when it came to the Garden of Eden, because we're returning back to our Garden of Edens. We're returning back to our birthright and what is rightfully ours from creation. That means that you're remembering yourself as the queens and kings that you are. You're awakening to yourself even more deeper. And that means that we're letting go of everything that has been placed upon us that was created through the political system, the religious system, the educational system, things that have been passed on from one family to the next, what's come through from the matriarchal aspect especially, and the patriarchal energy as well. From what was shown to me even within the past week, when I say I've received so much messages and revelations, is that the divine feminine had turned away from herself by, first of all, dishonoring herself. Okay, we dishonored ourselves through this feminine energy, and the masculine turned away from the feminine because, you know, the masculine energy responds to the feminine energy because it works together. And so it's so easy to point fingers and say, he did this and he did that to me and her. And what was shown to me is that the distortion and what was tainted in the bloodline is what had started things to descend. And that descension started from within ourselves in consciousness and feeling that we're less than and not connecting to source in with who we are. And so because of that, which I'm not placing it in a blame thing, but this is how things started to break down and things started to shift from one element to the next. And this is about what's going in reverse now, to remember to return back to your divinity, remember to turn back to who you are through source creation and what you are creating now in a new earth, a new heaven on earth. And so that's why it feels heavy. You'll feel the heaviness and the burdens that you feel like is placed on you. And it can come through from many things. It could be from even those who if you work for the government and all of a sudden whatever is happening, it's not to just blame, but it's all in place by the divine, because it has to do with where your attention is being given now, to where your energy is when it comes to money, your energy when it comes to what you're creating. And it's going to feel painful. It's going to feel strange for you. It's going to feel like you're out of place. You might feel like you're behind in your, with what you have to pay for, with your bills and all these things, and the attachment that you placed on the things that you have, the suffering that has been passed on from generations, the slavery, the physical slavery, the mental slavery. Are you still holding pain from what someone has done to you from the past and have not let go of it? And even if you say, I forgive them, but you bring it up again another time, you still haven't let go. Are you still holding on to what has happened to your ancestors, and for those who are killing our people, or what this one is doing against this person, and all the different type of corruption that has occurred? How much are you releasing and letting go of that, or even understanding what it means? What is the root of it? Where did it start from? How can we now transmute out that energy instead of regurgitating that same information, the same things that have happened over and over again? How can we shift through that so we can now reclaim ourselves, reclaim our power, reclaim our divinity? You see, because it's like, for me, for the past 24 hours, it's like I've been going through what they call it Jacob's ladder. Okay, I talk about this in the book Jacob's ladder. It's like you're ascending and descending at the same time. Okay, see, I made sure to look at my desktop so that way I see anyone that has any comments or questions. If you have any questions or comments that you'd like to make, please do so, because I love when I get asked questions, because it pulls out more information from out of me so I can get to speak about it. So Castor, you were asking, what about the feminine and feminine and masculine? Could you just be more descriptive with the question? In what way are you speaking about about the feminine and feminine? Are you talking about same-sex partners? Be specific about the question so that way I answer it in a clear, concise way, because I'm very particular when it comes to typing words and what words, because words carry different vibration and meanings, and I want to make sure I answer your question correctly. Okay, you said yes, but type it specifically. In what way do you want to know, or what information you want me to share in terms of the feminine and feminine? Because if anything that's affecting us, whether you're in the physical female body or the male body, the energy itself is what is working through coming into balance. And also what is shown to me is that we are bringing together, and it's not even just say integrating, but it's almost like you feel like you're at war with yourself. And it's like we're bringing the physical matter and the antimatter together. And the antimatter is that which is what you don't see. That's the spiritual matter. So some people may think the antimatter is the antichrist and what goes against Christ and what goes against, but what it really is this has to do with coming back into the principles of the Christ consciousness, and that it's not tied to the structures of mankind. It's not tied to the physical things of mankind. It's not tied to how we create things, okay? Because we're now coming back to our true divinity, where we're creating from the space of magic, and we're creating from the space of who we are and connecting to this consciousness, who we are and connecting to source energy, what it means for your light body to be coming in more to your physical body, and what that means for you versus if you're working towards something in the physical space, okay? And knowing that, especially for those of you who are on the twin soul path, remembering that you're here to remember love. You're here to be in love. You're here to raise the consciousness of the planet, and being in love is what raises the consciousness of this planet. So when you see me singing, when you see me laughing, when you see me playing, when you see me in this energy, when you see this part of me and how I am, this is a part of how we're raising the consciousness. Oh, I just saw 11 minutes and 11 seconds of me being on here. And so I just want you to understand what it means. It doesn't mean that, oh, I got to do this in order to ascend, or I got to do this to come into a union space. The union is the union of yourself in your being in your own sovereignty, being in your space of remembering your gifts and who you are, and you're attaining that inner power. You're remembering the things of the past, but you're not holding tight to it, and you are detaching from anyone else and whatever they're experiencing, because it all plays a part in, I would say, detaching from the emotional energy of others and what they're feeling and what they're experiencing, knowing that even if it's chaotic, it ties to what has to happen for the system to break down. And especially some of our colored folks are so used to still keep speaking about, I just saw 1212, to keep speaking about you know, the slavery and what happened with our ancestors. If anyone that has heard me before when I speak, is that I am on the ground of the Underground Railroad. I'm on the actual site. This is where Spirit led me. So even though I may have had to be out of the house where I was kicking and screaming, the part of myself that had to come here, it's not just releasing the stuff that's from, you know, my blood family, but it's also the generational pain, the generational emotion, because even though some of us may have left out of the bondage, you know, you still have the memories. And sometimes it comes up if you feel triggered by something else that happens to someone else. And now you have to ask yourself, can I now let go of the past and what has happened, and that the real power that's within you is stepping up to the plate. The real true power within you is remembering your gifts, and that you're speaking your truth, you're walking your truth, you're living your truth, that even if it goes against someone else, or even if it doesn't look ordinary, it's stepping into your avatar self. It's stepping into the true goddess that you are. That's what this path is all about. And I tell you that everything that comes together energetically, especially between twin souls and the twin pairs, is that remember that anything that shows up as what looks like the separation, because I get a lot of phone calls when it comes to this path, because I know that it can be quite different for you, and that the person who can understand the best with this is someone who's walking that path. Okay, I am one of them. And what I've gathered is that especially those who are in the male bodies, you have had to go through even more death transformation for this past 2 weeks. Okay, it's almost like something's pressing on you, and pain. Some of you may have had, which I've heard from some, that they're having pain in their bodies. And some of that is coming from wounds that you've had in the past, from stemming from being, you know, in wars or battlefields, memories of being separated from your divine feminine. okay? Memories of things that you have that you've experienced with your mother, things that you've experienced as far as feeling burdened, and you know, what was written in scriptures is that you're to go out in the fields and work and toil and suffer. And it's that energy is what many of us are having to really truly let go of, that suffering mentality and feeling that you're being punished, feeling that you're toiling in the fields, and that the only way that you can create something is by working for it. Okay, there are many ways that we can manifest things, many ways, and it's to remember that and not stay focusing on what someone else has said before to how things can happen, because you're doing witchcraft and sorcery and all that stuff. You see, it's all those things that we're releasing and having to let go, and not feeling as if someone has to keep you in bondage or someone has to keep you in that pain. You don't have to recreate that pain in your body because you are remembering something that happened in your childhood, that you can now give yourself permission to let go and release that. That you don't have to feel that you have to be controlled by someone or someone has to be controlled by you. And that means that you are truly detaching from any emotional things that people try to manipulate with, that you're also remembering that the relationships that we've had in the past are not the same, especially for twin souls, that the energy of the black magi and what you call it, witchcraft that have been placed on many of us, so that way, because twin souls that come together create magic, they create a lot of power on the earth. And from the last video that I did, I did mention about what was shown to me as like revelations and premonitions I was having, to what it means going beyond that person. This is an energy. This is a force that is coming together as masculine and feminine, right? Through source creation, in what has been fulfilled and is going to continue to be fulfilled, because as these twin souls are working their way back to each other, it's an energy what's coming through as a force. They show it to me, it's going to be like a nuclear bomb that goes off. And when I say nuclear bomb, I'm just telling to you in terms of the light that comes through and how powerful it is, that your path is bigger than that person. And it's important to focus and to stay centered with your inner healing and what's showing up between you and that person. And also being mindful that as we go through these portals, that you, the more, especially those in the feminine energy, the female bodies, the more you are staying in your power, the more you are walking in your power, speaking your truth. Don't be afraid of what you are to say. Don't be afraid of what your path is bringing to you, and listen to your inner guidance. You're always being led every single moment of the day. Your divine masculine is already online on the grid with you, because we're all templating grids everywhere in different parts of the earth. Okay. And as they show it to me, these grids are lighting up, and they're already ignited. They're already in place. And some of the people that are around you might be having to be out of the way, and some might be coming back into your space, receiving more codes. Then they have to leave. So wherever you are, wherever you have to be, that energy is emanating out there for those who are raising themselves in consciousness, those who are awakening more and letting go of things. And it's important for you to stay focused, stay in your heart, because nothing is going to last any longer for those who are not connecting from their heart space. And it also has to do with how much honor is given to the feminine energy. The feminine energy is already awakened on the planet. And it's for each person to recognize and to know what it means for you, what it means for what's ending as far as the generational cycles of pain and sorrow and suffering. Everything that's coming up to do with sexuality, everything that's come up to do with the secrets and the lies that have existed in families, the incest, all these things is what has to leave. All the different power plays, the manipulation, the sexual plays, things that have been desecrated or dishonored when it comes to the feminine and her body. Okay, all these energies is what we've had to be working through from the time that we had all these eclipses coming through. Even some of the females that are in that feminine energy that have been distorted is what is just continuously closing out, So you may find yourself being triggered by someone who is what you call, I don't want to say doing something to you, but what has to come through for you to see, so it's transmuted. Be mindful of what is happening around you with who you're connecting to. So you pay attention to what you may be transmuting. Pay attention to your dream state. Pay attention to what is showing up that may be shifting through with your family. And it's also what's connecting to your twin counterparts family as well, because it goes both ways. It's no separation. So it's very weird for me when I hear someone says, no, it doesn't have anything to do with that person. Yes, it does, because you're sharing that same energetic space. So, you know, you use logic with this, and also understand it's important to stay focused on what's happening in your lane, because the more you stay in your truth, the more you stay in your power to what is happening, is the more we're pushing through what no longer serves us. And you don't have to worry about what's happening over in, you know, someone else's lane, because no matter what, as you continue to shift, someone else is going to also shift in place alongside, because it's all energy. It's all moving itself through. And one of the key things that I heard this week, you know, when I posted my Instagram live, I think it was on the 15th, and I heard the energy of Bob Marley come through, and I just heard emancipate yourself from mental slavery. You see? So you don't have to follow all the other stuff that you hear going on, all the chaos, because it's a part of it. I talk about the chaos theory, and the chaos theory is the element of the what goes against itself. Okay, what is the contrast? What the contrast can be something that you feel is going against you, but that's not what it really completely is. It's more about, how do you know yourself and recognize yourself, right? You can know yourself when you see the opposite of yourself. You see, because if we're all in the same room, we're all just this love and light, love and light, love and light. That shit don't work all the time. Sometimes you got to come from another place with love and light, that if someone is carrying, particularly everyone is carrying some type of energy that's having to transmute, okay? I don't care how much time people want to say, oh, I've healed, I've healed. There's no such thing as I've just healed. We're constantly in motion with this healing. It's ongoing. It's nonstop. It's happening while you're sleeping. It's happening while you're awake. It's happening whether you're laying down, sitting down, squatting. It doesn't matter what it is. What is important is to keep the energy in flow within you, with dancing, singing, if you must. All of that is what helps you through this process of what we are shifting through, this huge gateway, this portal of this eclipse right now. And what this represents with the blood moon, what was shown to me is that I kept hearing the blood of the lamb. And I had the dream to do with my mother last week Saturday, where she was in her masculine power, which I've never seen my mother like that come to me in any way or form, in the spirit, in her spirit body. And so what she was showing to me is that she said, after this blood and water, which I've been talking about, the purification that we're going through a purification with our bodies, purification with the water, with the bloodstream, any sort of liquid form in your body. You may find yourself changing what you eat. All of this stuff is a part of the purification. You may find yourself eating a lot. You may find a lot of stuff happening in your root chakra. Some of the females may find themselves bleeding some more with menstrual cycle, or you may not have a menstrual cycle. It may have happened twice for the month, and it might be also connecting to the moon cycle of what's going on as well. And so everything that's going through like almost like you're having a regurgitation, the purification, everything. And that's why you might be feeling exhausted mentally and physically. And you might find yourself feeling as if you really just are isolated and feeling like as if you can't function, but we're still going to keep it moving. And it's to understand and to understand what is happening here. So if you think about it, I kept seeing the lamb and the lion and the blood of lamb. And I'm hearing the Lion of Judah, because this has to do with those who we are the original Israelites. We are the ones that it's our birthright to be kings and queens. It's our birthright to have everything. It is not where everything is one-sided and lopsided, where this one has money and this one doesn't have money and this one has, and you're suffering, and this one has a house and this one doesn't. No. It's all in reverse now. And the cycles and the burdens that have been passed on from one to the next okay, and thinking that this one owns this more than the other. That's what's leaving this planet. That's what is shifting, and it's going its rotation. And so that's the reason for this eclipse, that we're eclipsing out those old belief systems and feelings and thoughts, whether you're feeling, or how do you feel about slavery? How does it make you feel when you see someone is being killed over something that you know, belongs to them, or someone that's, you know, punished unjustly? And how does it trigger you? Or do you understand where it's coming from and what is to come out? What is it that you're releasing when it comes to that energy? All of this plays a part in how you make it. I could give so many different scenarios, but I want you to understand where it's coming from, and how important it is to stay focused on your inner power, and to stay focused on what and how you can let go, and to heal, and to remain steadfast on what the truth is for you. That even if you are standalone with all of this, that you're doing this for all the generations that are coming after, all the generations that are here now that you're helping, because this is one of the major purposes of twin souls that are here to bring forth the energy of this consciousness and unity, and that whatever and however the change shows up, that you stay strong with it and move forward with it and propel with it, and remember yourself, and remember that what represents the spiritual matter and the physical matter is now merging together and coming together as one. And even though I asked her to say, well, how is this going to look? Because I want to know how I can tell this to other people, because and it's not shown to me, okay? It's not revealed to me. And it's almost like we're going to be stepping into or it's already started, because I felt different when I woke up this morning. It's like I felt this peace within me, even though in my physical world it looked like it didn't matter, okay? And it means that no matter what the chaos is, what appears to be the chaos, it's about finding and having that inner peace, regardless of how it may show up, okay? And as you continue to center yourself with this inner peace, okay, it's like being in another voided space, and it's like we're getting all the messages and all of the tones and all the key codes to the power that is within you, and you remembering yourself as divine. You remember yourself as the co-creator, and recreating and co-creating. We're recreating and co-creating at the same time. So it's like things are ending, right? And we're recreating and letting go and shifting out the old stuff. And then we're creating at the same time. And so it's, and the thing what's different is that it's speeding up rapidly. So that's why you may find yourself, as soon as you look up, the time is like 5 hours ahead already. And then you're back again the next time. And this is how things are just speeding up. And the way how the world is going to be again is not the same like before. And truly it means that we're letting go of so much programming, so much belief systems. And the more you are paying attention to what you're bringing into your life force, that's also very key. So be mindful of what you're listening to in the news. Be mindful of who you have speaking to you, and when they're telling you all their problems and situations, because every time that they're coming in with whatever they're feeling and experiencing, you're taking in their energy and you're taking it into your life force. And so if you find yourself being more isolated, please allow it to happen, because so many of us have to be trekking forward faster, and spirit is going to put some of us in different pockets of isolation, so to speak, while the others are still trying to find themselves and what they need to let go of. And I mean, for this past week, I've already heard about 4 or 5 transitions. I mean, just like that. And or the person is recreated some type of illness and they're leaving, or they're gone, or they're going to be. Because the minute someone contacts me, I said, oh, they're going to leave. Oh, they're going to leave. And this is a part of the transition. Some souls are not able to handle these energies and change, and a part of it has to do with how much are you holding on to fear, how much are you holding on to doubt, how much are you holding on to that old programming and feeling that this has to be this way. And being in that feminine energy and honoring the feminine energy means that you are letting go, you're becoming more receptive, you're coming with more divine wisdom. You're connecting to source energy. You're paying attention to the signs. Like the minute something happens, are you going to tap into your inner knowing and you're going to feel into it? Or are you going to go by what you see and start panicking and going into fear? because you see those lower energies comes in, it comes in so quickly because the density on the planet is so thick. And so as the minute you feeling something negative, you ask yourself, is this real? Is this an illusion? How am I going to get through this illusion? How are you going to remember yourself? Are you going to remember your power? You're going to remember what's going on astrologically is very important. I keep telling everyone, get your natal chart done. See what is happening with your ascendant sign, your moon sign. See what or how you are responding to the energies of the planets in what's in rotation. So the Leo in Aquarius is at 0 degrees right now. Okay. I mean, even though it's the 19th where I am, the energies of the moon always starts from me from within a week. So it doesn't have to be on the exact precise date, but I do know that they do come off with some different types of intensity and frequency depending on the time of where you are. So pay attention to what is it that's showing up for you where Leo is in your chart or Aquarius is in your chart, and Capricorn, because Capricorn, we're in Capricorn and we're heading into the sun in Aquarius, which yay for me, I'm like, yay, hallelujah, yay, I'm so glad, because you know, everything for me as an Aquarius is, it's like I know I'm here to break shit down. I know I'm here to tear up this motherfucker. That's all I know. I just know that about myself because I am the one that does not conform to old stuff and old shit. So I know that. And I choose, that's the key word, I choose for the change. And I know that the change means that I have to let things go. Okay? And letting things go is not going to be what you think you read in a storybook. Okay? And it's like you're creating a new life like a child and really coming back into that magic. And so as we're at this 0 degrees, as we already were 0 degrees last month, I believe it was, I think it was Cancer, I don't remember. And before that was another 0 degree. So it's like 5 planets are direct right now. And that means everything is now in forward motion. When I think about this saying in Jamaica, it said, forward now in a Babylon, forward now. We're moving forward. You can't take back anything what you can't take back anything that who you were before. It's just not going to work. It's going to keep moving forward. So whether you like it or not, is either you're going to step on that train track, step on that train and start moving ahead, because there's nothing that you can do to change that, but you can just allow yourself to step into it and embrace it. You know what I'm saying? Because it is typical of human beings to not choose to want to embrace change. And now when you look at what's happening in the country called the United States, right? The government is on a shutdown. Why do you think it's on a shutdown? Because more of you are having to go deep within. All the structures and things that you have been used to, someone had to come in as the catalyst. Many of us have had to come in as the catalyst. That you look at it and say, I know this might hurt you. I know it might hurt me, but it's for the best. And the band-aids are ripping off left, right, and center. So even if it means that you have 2-3 people that are transitioning in your family or a friend or a close, you know, whoever it is, it's to awaken you. If it means that you have the transitions and you lose something, it's to awaken you. Everyone is here to awaken each other. And you could either stay sleeping. You know, I posted something, you're taking the blue pill or the red pill, and some of you taking both at the same time. But guess what? There's no stopping this. This is what we've been waiting for New Earth. And New Earth is now here. It's now here. And like I said, I wish I could say, like, truly what's on the other side. But all I know is how I feel is that it's so new that it's like being like in outer space. You know, that's how it feels to me. Like you're in an outer space, but then my physical body's here. And then your mind can say, but is this really happening? Yes, it is happening. Yes, it is happening. And it's no convincing. You don't have to convince anyone. You don't have to feel you're alone in the process, because Spirit is going to send someone or something that will keep reminding you of what your purpose is here. Okay? Spirit is going to remind you of your role that you play. Be conscious of what you speak, because as you speak it out, the energy is even quicker now with what comes in and manifests into your life. It's coming in more rapidly. And so as you speak it, remember that you're aligning with what you speak, then which comes from your thoughts. and then how you're aligning with it with your feelings. Okay, so as you think it and your feelings at the same time is what will bring it into manifestation. So as I say that, I'm asking Spirit, okay, what else should I say? And I said, okay, they're bringing me to the relationships, okay, especially for those who are on the twin soul path, and what has been showing up dynamically. Because when I get people who contact me for readings and I'm seeing the same patterns, because I have the ability to read the energy, and as I was reading the energy for this week, is that I would urge the divine feminine to stay focused on what you are having to release finally through this portal, through this gateway. And I say this because a lot of times we feel that we feel comfortable when we know every single thing that's happening. We want to know the future, and you go back into the past of the pain and what you went through in other relationships, and then you bring it into this, and then you say, oh no, I got it, and then you go right back to it again. And part of the thing that I see so much more is those who are wanting to be in control. And that's like you're holding more masculine energy anyway, wanting to be in control, and then wanting to know when you're going to hear something, or when you're going to, or why the person doesn't respond, or blah, blah, blah. And know that the divine has stepped in when it comes to these unions. And if you're still in a space of codependency, wanting things to happen now, feeling that you have to be in control, if you feel that you can't be at peace with no matter what your journey is showing to you, then you're not ready for yourself yet. Because remember, hear the words I say, you're not ready for yourself. Because when you are in this space of union, that means that you are walking in your own sovereignty, you're at peace, you have more inner peace, you don't have a reason to have to hold on to anything. You're not attached to anything emotional coming from that person or whatever's happening. You have empathy, but not sympathy. You are also being in your own power, stepping into your own power. You're releasing your fears. You're releasing your doubts, okay? You're in a space of knowing what is happening, okay? But you're also letting go at the same time, okay? And it takes time to let go of that pattern, because when you're so used to it, and being in control of things, you know, that happens in relationships, you keep doing it and then you fall back into that pattern again. So you have to ask yourself this question, that if you are still getting triggered by what your twin is doing or not doing, and it happens to some who are also in the male bodies that have their feminine principle, that's not, because I just want you to know it's not just on masculine. And if you feel that you're still uncomfortable and you're being triggered by what they're doing and not doing, then that there is more healing for you to do. And every time if you know you're being guided to make a contact or to do something that's different. But I'm talking about if you did whatever you're guided to, but you're still pouncing and you're still, you know, and then you're not going within and being at peace with being detached from it, you're going to be experiencing more separation energy of pain, meaning that it's bothering you and it's affecting you, okay? Because these, when I say unions, it's not just about the physical you. This is bigger than you. This is divine, and it is very, very sacred. It's very sacred, and it's for you to remember that. And so no one should have to feel that you have to beg someone, okay? And I say it in that way, to beg someone to respond to it, because then that means that there's something that you're feeling is, you need that person to fill that void, okay? You need that person to feel something within you so you can feel better. And all those energies of females, and I'm going to bring this to the females and the feminine energy. For those who were on that road or connecting to that, what I call it, manipulation. They had the manipulation, the ones who wanted to sleep with someone so they can have a baby, so that way, you know, they recycle that energy of, oh, I'm going to capture this man and I want to keep my man and I'm going to do this. Or, you know, some of them even poisoned, you know, someone else, you know, because they want to be in control and power over. So the power plays. All those energies is what has to leave. So if you still feel that you have to be in control and be in the knowing, or you got to be like, I got to find out what's going on, I got to check, you got to still check and all these things, then you have to ask yourself why, and that there's more healing for you to do, okay? And ask yourself, does this reflect me being in my power, or am I disempowering myself? Because you see, this is what happened in the beginning of time, where there was so much disempowering of the feminine. She is the one who dishonored herself, okay? And I say she, in of course, in reference to the element of the feminine, who she is the queen, and the counterpart separated themselves from the feminine energy because they wanted to be in power and control. And so all of that magic that was done, you know, where the voodoo and because that stuff existed. And some people might say, oh, well, I do that now. Yeah, but when you do it, what is the purpose? What is the incentive doing that? Is it to try to control someone because you're not getting what you want? Are you using your vagina to do that? Because there's women who do that too. So it's all these things you have to think about, because those energies are having to go. And these things have been passed on from generation through, especially in our you know, the African continent, the Caribbean. Oh, I got to go do something to me, want to get my man back and this and that. And all that stuff is not going to work. It's not going to work. It's just going to keep falling apart. It's going to keep falling. I'm speaking it real with that right now, okay? Because I'm aware of those type of energies. And all of that information, all those messages is what have been coming up in my field to talk about it, because it exists in our culture, okay? It exists in our culture, thinking that we can use black magic to keep someone and control them, and they can't leave, and then they're enslaved, and then there's more slavery, and there's more control and power placed over relationships. And so the frequency that's going on now will not support that any longer. It will not support it. And so now there's also the element of the divine masculine that had turned away from the feminine energy. And that, again, plays a part in for the ones who are disempowering themselves. And they were not trusting, and also wanting to be in control of the what I call it, information and the stuff that was coming forth, which I'm talking about from during the time of Atlantis and during the time of things that started in creation, and all the mixing up of things and the mixing up of partners and the mixing up in relationships. And what happened is that the DNA was corrupted. The DNA was corrupted from that time, and it had to do with mixing juices. And when I say juice, I'm talking about the sexual energy, the sexual juices. All of this is what caused and started the disintegration of ourselves, and also throughout humanity's history, okay? And you think about all the chaotic things that have occurred throughout millennium when it comes to, you know, the rapes and the bloodlines and the mixing up, you know, with different things. And when I say the mixing up, I'm not talking in terms of color and race and credit. I'm talking about energy, I'm talking about consciousness. Who are you allowing to come into your sacred space? Who are you allowing to enter into that sacred space? Whether you're a male or a female, doesn't matter what sexuality or sexual orientation that you are a part of, okay? This is all a part of all of that stuff that is having to leave and be transmuted and being purified. And you have been, more likely, if many of you have been feeling energy and stuff that has been releasing out of your root chakra, because that is where you are connected to your divine counterpart, and what comes together with the true magic that exists between those partners, okay? And so because New Earth is being templating now, your counterpart, you know, and please know that it doesn't apply only to just those who are true twin flames, but everyone is also on a path to being with their sacred partner, who they're connected to. You will know, because God will show it to you. You will get the signs, you will get the messages, okay? And so until that time comes, everything is still in its divine place and its divine order with all of this. And this is about us reclaiming our true selves, reclaiming our true selves, our divinity, okay? And reclaiming our divinity means reclaiming our power. And that means that everything that is being given unto us is based on what true wealth is. And true wealth is about health, your health, being healthy, younger, feeling younger, the aging reverses, right? Also, your body as a vessel and how you are treating it as such, and coming into your avatar. And, you know, the magic that exists between twin souls and sacred partners is huge. It's a huge element on earth. And so this portal is supporting what's coming together with these divine unions. And it is coming. It's happening already, because they're just showing me how it's just coming into that space of beginnings, okay? And the old grid and the old template of twin souls is not the same like before. It's all being rewritten. So you may find yourself not remembering certain words, not remembering certain things, your memory, and you're like, shoo, I'm trying to find a word for it, because we're having to let go of the certain words, be conscious of the words you speak, certain words that carry spells and vibration. And when you're repeating it, how does it make you feel? So it's important to pay attention to that, because all of that old energy is also leaving, okay? And anything to do with separation consciousness. Your union is not just about you, it's also about others. Okay, when I say others, meaning that even if there's someone else that may possibly could just need a little word or something you might say to them, because it might help them to shift. It's not just about, oh, this is all about my union. No, it's about yours and theirs, because there are particular sets that are coming together, the original set of twins, and there's some that are in that element of those who are connected to those twins, because you will know, because we're on a particular soul frequency of 717, 777, 144. I saw it like 10 times yesterday. I can't even count. 555s. And these particular frequency and codes that are coming in from your higher self, and which you're seeing it just means, well, what's coming in alignment in that sacred geometry. Okay, and all of this is what is playing a role in what is being magnified through this portal, and how everything is coming together for us, our gifts, and everything that we've had before that I don't want to use the word taken, because then you bring ourselves into victimization, and it's not about being a victim. It's just over and understanding how everything is just evolving, and it's all going in reverse. So, you know, it's like we say it in my country, it's like you're reversing the curse. I know there's a Christian song, whatever, it's a reverse the curse. And really it's like it's just shifting gears, and it's in rotation. So now we're in a rotational phase of attaining these gifts and bringing back our true selves and our true power, and over and understanding how this is coming in galactically, more than, oh gosh, when am I going to hear from him or her, or when am I going to see them, and blah blah. Everything is still going to fall into place. We can't come together until everything or whatever, because I don't know, I can't measure, or they're not showing me how it is measured to. It's not where you have to be in perfection with this, in other words. Okay, it's not about being perfect. It's however the divine chooses to, when the time comes for you, and whatever stage you're at, it will be shown to you. You will get your messages. Pay attention to your messages and your signs, and don't underestimate what's being shown to you. I had to get that for myself when about 2 weeks ago, my beautician took me to go get something when I went to the local market, and I saw on a license plate God N GODNAA. So when I saw it, I was like, oh, whatever, you know, and then I was going to take the picture. I said, no, I don't want to be bothered, because it probably is not big. I said, I knew in my heart, I knew it was a big deal. But then I was like, oh, you know, come on, how many times am I going to have to keep on and on? What else? And it so happens that I was sitting in my chair, and my phone notified me that it was full. And so I said, oh gosh, because I get so much video sent to me almost every day, like 10 videos a day, and my phone get full. So my phone was full, and I had to go delete out stuff. I just keep deleting out stuff. So when I was scrolling, there was a folder that I had created in my phone called a sent folder. And when I went in that folder, would you believe, I know you believe me, the same vehicle that said God NAA, I took a picture of it last year sometime in July, I believe. No, actually it was July. I think it was July of 2000, and I think it was 17. I think it was 2017 or something like that, which would have been during the time of the eclipse. And so when I thought of God and AA, I thought of an archangel. Then I thought of Metatron. And then someone else said to me, they think of Adam and Eve, the beginning of time. You know, I mean, I get so much messages per day. It's like I can't even keep up with the messages I get, because I'm staying current and past. I'm just bringing it all together. So the point, what I'm saying to you is that even if you think something is minimal, or that it may not matter in terms of the messages, it does matter. because what it'll do for you is it's going to give you another clue or something to put your pieces together to your puzzle and what's happening to do with your awakening and your ascension or your twin soul path, and it comes together energetically. And this year 2019, which is the number 3 year, is the year of what comes together with everything universally and collectively and individually. Okay. And that means that it's no more, oh, I'm going to do this on the surface. Oh, I'm going to skip over this. Oh, I don't have time for this. Make the time. Because you see, when you don't make the time, this is when you get the surprise, when that's whatever could be coming up for you to repeat. Then all of a sudden you're going to have that same similar experience again in a different way. And if you had just taken the time to go deep within, because we're going deeper and deeper and deeper. That's what's happening. We're going deeper and deeper and deeper when it comes to this consciousness. We're going deeper and deeper when it comes to these unions. We're not just taking it on the surface and giving honor to the divine feminine and the divine masculine. Okay, another message, and I'm going to look at your notes because I wanted to stay focused. I feel like I'm looking at you, and I'm also bringing to you whatever I'm guided to say to you. And one of the other messages that I was hearing to do with the aspect of the feminine towards the masculine is ease up. Ease up. The masculine has held on to energy from over 500,000 years. That's a long time. And if you are just awakening to your path, you're going to feel like you don't belong. You're going to feel angry. You're going to go through different emotions. Okay. And so what's important is that you remember to be gentle with yourself, and you allow yourself to come from divine inner wisdom and not dismiss it. And also, don't jump to conclusions, because I know a lot of people, when they go, they're like, oh God, somebody doing something to me. That's another programming that exists, especially in a lot of West Indian culture. Somebody had do something to me. And even the black culture, it doesn't even matter. It's, oh, everybody. Oh, somebody doing something to me. Oh, this one is going against me. Oh, la, 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 la. The same regurgitate, instead of taking the time to have that peace within you and to find out and ask for what is going on here. Can you please, because it will be shown to you if you ask. They're not going to give you information if you don't ask. And when you do that for yourself, what you're doing is you're opening the door for more magic and more stuff to come towards you, you see. And that's one of the purposes of what I wanted to tell you that. And I also was guided to also specifically talk about the ones in the feminine energy, and what has existed from over 500,000 years ago is that they have held on to that patriarchal energy and that system of control. They're not used to this type of love. They're not used to this type of unconditional love. Many of us, I mean, I'm used to it. I'm used to it because I'm it. My soul frequency is about love. I love to feel the love. I love to talk about the love, because that is what makes you feel lighter. And, you know, and that means that you're giving yourself time to heal through the pain and what has existed with you before in your family lines, what has existed before when it comes to the nurturing that you may or may not have received from your mother. What was it like during your childhood? And if you've had females that have had control over you all the time. And, you know, it's like every time I see the divine masculine, I think of one of them just laying their head on your bosom, because the child always wants to be on the mother's bosom. The child always wants to feel loved. The child always wants to feel connected. We all want to feel that connection. And too often we push away love because there's a pain that exists with that person. There's something to heal. And so give them the chance to heal. Give them the chance to come into their own true power. Okay. And that means that they're going through and have been going through a rewrite and programming of what a man is supposed to be. Those in the male bodies, or how a man is supposed to, what a man is supposed to have, and how that man is to have it. They weren't taught around the breakfast table or the dinner table or the lunch table. Oh, you're an avatar. Oh, you can make something move. Oh, you can connect telepathically with this person. No, that wasn't taught. So it's like stepping out of from one realm to the next, what has never been experienced before. But when you keep speaking it and talking it and feeling it, and for those of you out there who are doing that, kudos to you. Keep doing it. Don't stray away from the truth of who you are. Don't deny yourself. Don't deny God. Do not deny your existence. Do not deny your path if you're on that twin soul path. Keep on keeping on, okay? Because it's that part that says that in order to be in this king queendom, right, you must be born again. And also you're templating something that has never been done before. We're going through what we call uncharted territory. And the key thing is that what's different now than how it was with Yeshua is that he had to do this alone with Mary Magdalene and all the ignorant people. And, you know, and so we're in a time where there have been ignorant people, but now there's more of us that are awakened. So you're not alone, okay? You're not alone. And knowing that you are attaining your avatar status, okay? You're attaining your crystalline status. So it's like your body is changing, everything's changing. Your thought process, how you process things, how you react to things is also changing. This is a part of this gateway as well, is how you're reacting to things. And instead of, you know, acting and how you're reacting, you're just like at peace with it. And you come with a greater wisdom with what it is, and seek to know yourself and really know your true self, and connecting to your higher self and what is being shown to you, what you're being guided to, and being the beingness, okay? And being in love. Being in love is what is the highest element and the highest attainment, connecting to source, okay? I always knew that. It was shown to me from the time I went into my, I call it my full-blown awakening. I've been awakened since I was 3 because I've always been observing everything and everyone, taking notes from when I was that age. And I'd be like, why is this like this? Why is it? Nope, that don't make no sense. If you know something don't make sense or something doesn't feel right, that's your key. That's your sign. When you know it doesn't feel right, when you know that even if you felt okay with it before and all of a sudden it's not that way again, follow your feelings, follow your gut instinct, follow the nose, follow the yellow brick road, follow. Your template and whatever your purpose is not the same as someone else. My purpose is not the same as you, but we still intertwine. We're still doing this collectively. We're still joining together. And this holy matrimony is not about just the matrimony between you and that person you're connected to. It's the holy matrimony of the Christ. The bride of Christ has come before Mother and Father God. And we have been getting this preparation for a while now, from the time 2012 began. And so now we're at that next stage of our awakening and the union. Okay, and this union space is now different because now this is about what's coming together in the physical, why it's happening during the Capricorn season. And when we're heading into the sun in Aquarius, is that you can't say you didn't know this. You can't say you don't know what this is, because you do know. And when you know what you know, like I've spoken about to do with Neo, now that you know, what are you going to do with it? Who are you going to be? You know what you know. Now is the time to step into what you know. And some of the divine masculine are still in fear of stepping into what they know because, again, this has been uncharted territory. And so what I say is allow yourself to move through it as gentle and as quickly as you can, because it's happening anyway. Okay, the time has come now where we can't hesitate and stall. And if we hesitate and stall with things, then more chaos is going to happen around you. And it's not in a bad way. It's just that this is the way how the cycles of the planet is that you have this opportunity, and each time when there's Mercury in retrograde, or you have another planet that's in retrograde, when Pluto was in retrograde, when Venus was in retrograde, when Mars was in retrograde, all of that was the time of everything that had to shift out from the masculine and what had to shift out from the feminine, what had to be disintegrated and pulled down and pulled apart. And now we're bringing ourselves back together again, as I refer to Humpty Dumpty. We're bringing ourselves back together again. And as we bring these pieces together, because, you know, the goddess Set, Isis, also known as Isis, she spoke about, or it was written to how we had to bring all the pieces together. That's what she had to do to recreate her divine masculine. We are the ones that give birth to divine masculine. We are the ones that are giving birth to a new earth. And that means that you bring all the pieces together. You can't leave any piece out, okay? That even if it means that you have to weave some magic, the real magic now, okay, to who you are becoming, what it means for you, what it means for you when it comes to love, true love, okay? Because the true love is what exists with what's happening. And that means that we're letting go of everything that has been this block to love for so long. And that's the reason why everything that you have been experiencing has been painful. And that's what represented the blocks, okay? Which comes from the fear, abandonment, feeling let down, feeling disconnected with, you know, someone who may have raised you, okay? Feeling dishonored, feeling like you don't count, feeling like you can't speak up because you were, you know, bullied. Because, you know, there's a lot of bullies out there. You know, even my kids said to me, I said, Mommy, you don't even, you talk like you're a bully. I said, no. I said, I just speak up more now than ever. That's all. I give everyone their freedom to be who they are. I just ask that you do the same. You know what I mean? And even if you're not ready, someone will come along that'll get you prepared to be the strength that you are, okay? And know that you have what it takes. And no matter how it may look in front of you, just remember that it's just an illusion. Neo made the decision when he remembered he was the one. And I think I did share with you, I was guided to watch The Matrix like about a month ago, and I finally did get to watch it. And when I watched it maybe like, shoot, must have been about the 12th time. But each time you watch a movie, or I'm guided to watch a movie, you get a different message, because each time you ascend, you're not in the same space. You're not in the same place in consciousness. And so the message that I got was that he remembered he was the one. He was told he was the one in the first installment. And then he had to embrace the fact that he was the one. The second one, he did embrace it. He finally accepted it, because we have to go through these stages of, okay, you find out who you are. And then you're like, okay, cool. Or you might be like, oh, no, I don't want to know this. That's how I was. I didn't want to be the, what? You think I want to go? No. But I had to go through, it took me months to embrace myself. It took me months to accept who I am on all these levels. And then each time it goes higher and higher. And all I knew what I got from this for myself is that if I ignored anything, that motherfucker gonna come right back in my space again. So I knew that my experience, I say experience is the greatest teacher, was pay attention. Pay attention, because God is always trying to tell you something in so many ways that it sneaks up on you sometimes. But that's just the way it is. So the second installment of The Matrix was, he knew who he was. Now he had to step into that avatar self that he was, who he is, okay? And he had to make that choice between saving Trinity and saving the world. And he chose Trinity first, and then the world after. Because we're not here to save each other and rescue and disempower this other person and tell them what to do. No, you're here to love. We're here for love. And love sometimes means letting go. And love also means letting go of attachments, letting go of the beliefs, letting go of all of that stuff. Because if you have all these energies in you, within you, and you've carried it with you from how many incarnations that you've had, and you have not let it go, then what happens is it's a block. It's a block. And so when you release those blocks, you open up and make more room for love. Because even when I was facing the things that I was facing, I was just getting messages from my divine complement, my divine masculine. And it's like I kept hearing him saying, do you remember me? And then I felt lighter. And then I went back to the burdens again. And then I felt lighter. And so I had to choose and say, what do I choose? You know what I'm saying? Are you going to conform to the society that creates these burdens and accept it and putting their power into other people? Or are we now templating what true love means, that we are not allowing anyone to dictate to us any more of who we are and the freedom we attain? Okay, because the power has been given to us. It's our divine right. We are the kings and queens, okay? And all the little elements, what I call them, the sentinels, little elements of darkness that comes through from people that may be like a block, but they're still there for a purpose, because it's like they're there to say, are you still remembering who you are? Are you going to still stay in your power with who you are? Do you still believe in who you are? Okay, now you're going to keep walking it. That even if another one sneaks up into your, comes over into your lane, you keep it moving. You keep it moving, and you keep knowing. You're getting past believing now. It's like and you let go. And you let go. And that's how I look at this path and what it is. And I'm going through stuff similar or whatever like you. And we all had chosen whichever specific path. And I say to you, if you know that you have a special gift or something to give out there to help yourself, because it goes both ways. You're helping yourself and you're helping someone else. And this is something that's going to not only trigger you, but awaken you, because we're all going to keep awakening with all these codes that are coming in. And as you're awakening it, and each time you remember, you go another notch, and you go another notch, and you go another notch. And then we just keep activating each other. And what it does is that it creates an element and a bond that's sealed on the earth. As I close my eyes, they show it to me. It's like in the form of an equator, and it's just sealed on the earth. And as it's sealed on the earth, that anything that represents the opposite any longer, it's just not sustainable anymore. So we are sustaining the element of true love now. It is happening. It is happening. It's happening. So anyway, that's my message. I'm going to now read, because I got to look over here to read any messages or anything. Okay, so Caster, you asked about the feminine and the masculine. I hope I covered that question for you. If I didn't, if you're still on, let me know so I can answer the question for you. You're asking about what the feminine and masculine, because I can talk for hours and hours, and then I don't remember what I said, because the energy is just flowing more and more. Peace, Mary. You said, how should you utilize this powerful energy? Okay, Ice God Paris, how you should utilize this powerful energy. When I feel into you, I feel like you're already in a space of knowing who you are. And I don't feel like you have too much people that you're talking to in terms of this. So what I would say is start moving towards your passion, okay? Because a lot of times what I talk about in the book is when you remember who you are, because it's about bringing your gifts from who you were in the past and who you are now, which you're still the same person, but now what you're doing is you're enhancing your powerful God self, okay? And what that means is that the more you remember the parts of yourself that is existing, because what I talk about too is that when the soul has incarnated throughout lifetimes, we have the same personality. You're the same you. You're just transforming. And each lifetime, there's something that you are, I don't like to use the word lessons, but there's something that you're remembering about yourself. And that means you're going to experience the opposite of yourself to remember yourself. And so each lifetime you were a king. You were someone of authority and power. But it's almost like as if you are like a protector, and you were hidden in certain timelines. You were hidden because of the power that you have, because there were people that tried to destroy you. So if you have ever felt like a lot of people have come up against you because you have brilliant ideas, or you have things that you have wanted to share because it might empower someone else, but it's almost like I feel like there are people or situations that have existed where it's been like dismembered or taken away, or the person tries to stop you. So if you've ever felt like something has tried to stop you, Spirit is saying that you can bring it back again. You can bring back again what you're guided to do. And because you're in a new energy of what's supporting you, of what you can do. Like for me, I'll give you an example. For me, I remembered how many times I sent segments, information, and stuff to the OWN network. Because I was guided to, because I know my path is to do speaking, public speaking, even more than readings. And I know that I'm guided to be able to help in a group setting. So I sent it so many times. And then I just heard Spirit say this week earlier, send it again. And I didn't argue this time. I said, oh, I've sent it already. I said it because we're in a new energy of, I don't want to say planting seeds. We're in a new energy of what we can manifest. Okay. And so that means that if you have tried something before and it was shot down, or I just feel like as if you had interference from certain people that try to stop anything that you have tried to accomplish, and you've had to go through separating yourself, and it feels like it could be family members or a close friend or something like that, because I feel like you have people that get jealous of your gifts and jealous of what you have to do. But it doesn't mean that you have to give them power by being in fear of not doing it again. So you are now free to do it again, is what Spirit is saying, that they're pushing you to walk your path now, and whatever you're being guided to, because it's like you're a leader. You have ideas. I see you doing things on paper, like you're doing things on paper or getting documents together, like an advocate, or you are involved with what can help your community or something like that. So that's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm seeing. And you have ideas. So get the ideas out, get it going, get it moving. Okay. So that's how this energy is supporting you right now. And you're going to remember yourself as the leader that you are. It's your tribe. And it's time for you to bring your queen forth. And they're telling me that you sometimes don't focus too much on that, and it's time for you to bring her forth. And that means that you're allowing your heart to open more and to expand more with yourself and expand with this love, and allow your heart to be more aligned with receiving this love. Okay, so that's what I'm hearing with you. Okay, so Mary, you don't mind me calling you Mary because I know that's you, Mary. You said you just learned about a transition yesterday. Yes, a lot of people are leaving the planet, a lot. And, I look at it this way, that we're still in the cycle of death and rebirth. So it's either there's a death that's occurring with you while you're in the physical body, which I talk about that, meaning that you're dying of your old self, the old habits, the old ways of thinking, the old system of what you've been attached to throughout millenniums. I see 111. It's 1 hour and 11 minutes and 33 seconds. And so what it means is that the earth, as she is ascending, okay, because they've even shown to me, the team, the tribe, have shown to me that it's not even where the earth is ascending just to the fifth dimension. But from what I see, it's like there's going to be a time like we just skip, like it just skips. Like it goes from 5 to 8 and 8 to 12. And this is what's changing now, where it's not slow anymore. And that's why it's like it's time to keep up now. It's time to keep up. And it's not about thinking, oh, I can't keep up with this because I'm in the human vessel. No, you are divine. We are supreme beings, if you choose, if you accept, because I know I am. And even sometimes my kids are going to be like, oh, you want me to do 3, 4 things one time? Yeah, because that's who we are. The soul is not made to stay one place. So the transitions that are happening is what's helping to come into balance for those of us who are coming into this higher order of energy. And as this is happening, there are souls that are not, 2 different elements here. Souls that are not able to attain this energy. It's too much for them, so they choose to leave. And then there's some who choose to leave because they're helping with the balance and the ascension of the planet. Because what I've been seeing constantly is that there are a lot of quite a bit, and it's like a domino effect of what do they call it again, conceptions that are coming into by 2020. And those children, those avatar, diamond, crystal, plasma, or whatever name you want to call them, powerful. And a lot of them have been coming into readings and telling me that they're here. And some of them are eager, but they know that they can't come in until there's a certain balance of energy that's coming in, because we're having a lot of light coming in from all the planets, is what I'm hearing. And it's a cosmic thing that's happening here, that even if you feel that you're planning something for tomorrow, there's something else that's coming in to shift that. Because when you're sleeping, we're getting the codes coming in. You might not be remembering your dreams for the next few days, because I haven't remembered any dream too much. So just know that your soul is just going through stuff. You might even dream about people that you haven't heard from in a while. You might even notice people paying attention to stuff if you're on social media, and all of a sudden they come into your frequency and then they leave. And just know this is a part of the cycle of what is representing the death and rebirth cycle of things, because if they're holding energy and they're connected to you, it has to come in, present itself, because we're making the unconscious conscious. We can't know what it is there to transmute if we don't see it. So as you see it, just don't take it personal. Don't take it personal. Just allow it to come through and then allow it to leave. It comes through and then it leaves. It comes through and then it leaves. And this is a part of the recycle of what is happening right now in this moment. The blood moon itself, because I think I didn't really go in that detail part, is the representation of the greater part of the purification of our soul self. Okay, the blood itself, the blood of the lamb. This is what is how do I say it, purifying, like being, like, I wouldn't say baptismal, but it's just what's flowing through us, and it's like a representation of what in the past, when things were sacrificed to represent an atonement. And you know, it's like some of these things that were written, they were like symbolic and, you know, metaphysical. So in the dream that I had with my mom, the blood and the water was flowing down, and it was suicide. And she said to me in the dream, and I take my mother's messages very seriously, because she told me she left to help with the ascension of the planet. My mother's my top-notch guide, okay? And I love her to life. She's my best friend. Not was, she still is. And she's powerful goddess, okay? And so she told me that the generational curses are now ended. And so, you know, we know that time does not exist. And so it's now is the time that all that energy, so everything that you are feeling from your mother, your father, your siblings, cousins, aunts, relatives, on your twin soul side of it, everyone, it's all transmuting. It's all, even now, it's snow blizzarding right now outside, and it represents, snow represents purification. It's just something going through a purification cycle, and this is the energy that supports the blood moon. And you think about it, that it's a blood moon, 0 degrees in Leo, and that it's the timing of this all in what is transmuting. And no coincidence that January 21st is the day that they put aside to celebrate Martin Luther King. And just remember, the energy that existed in the 60s with freedom, that was more focused on the physical freedom, you know, being able to get a job and the rights that we should have as the colored folks, and everyone is equal. This is about emotional freedom, mental freedom, your spiritual freedom, and your physical freedom. It's everything in freedom, where you don't wake up in the morning and you got to think about all the things you have to do and the burdens, okay? That you're free to love again, okay? You're free to love again. Free to love again means that if you got the bills to pay and you know you had to do this or that with another person, or, you know, the families that work hard and this one has 3-4 jobs and the other one, and there's no room for love making. It's the element of making love that creates things, okay? And that's what I'm going to say. That's my quote. That's the huge, you know, what they call that, I don't want to say mantra. It's the huge message that I have from the book, The Return of the Garden of Eden, is making love. And when we're making love and that sacred sexual energy comes together, that connects you to more divine light, more divine codes, more magic, and things that manifest in ways that you have never seen or experienced before. But to get to that place, you must go through this death and rebirth cycle, okay? Because anything else that I can talk about what that's sacred, I've spoken about it in 2-3 other segments. If you have never seen my segment that I did, it was January of 2017, right around the time before the eclipse started. That energy is exactly what is coming. If you go into my videos, January of 2017, I had the merge with my 2 divine masculine energetically, and that is the frequency. This is where I was speaking in tones, and I've been speaking in these codes and tones and speaking in, I don't call it light language, speaking in tongues. And that is what has been happening all this time for me, and what is to transmute on earth, and bringing us in together, and that whatever is divided, it has to divide itself so it multiplies and come back to itself. So remember this. Always remember this, that the soul is up to, your soul is up to something, and anything that goes against it still comes together. And the only difference is that you don't have to attach to what you feel goes against you. You see it for what it is, and you let go. Everything in the past of that represents slavery. Stop watching the slavery movies so you get triggered again and again and again. You know, hold that space of love in knowing why it has happened. So what we're recreating now is an energy of being honored for your gifts, and being honored for who you are with your gifts, and that it is not labeled, and we are no longer being maimed, killed, misunderstood, and all that bullshit. Okay, that's the difference. Or saying that you're dealing with devil work and all that kind of bullshit again. Okay, and stay strong with that, in knowing that who you are, what you represent, not being in fear. And this is what you agreed from a soul level through source energy to what this is. Okay, so I'm just going to read one more thing, and then I'm just going to do a little strong language. That's what I call it. It says, what if I keep getting messages about following your passion? Yes, Mary, keep following your passion very deeply. Follow your passion. Okay, because this is your year of changing out of the work that you do anyway, is what I'm picking up on. If I never told you that before, that's what I'm getting now. You're doing a different type of work, Mary. Okay, so 96, you said, what if you feel like you don't remember your personality, or if you feel like your personality in this life has been defined? But okay, now when I talk about your personality, I see, you see you put, your name is 96. When I talk about your personality, I'm talking about your likes, your dislikes, who you are, how you define yourself, how people define you. Or like for me, like they say, oh, she's beautiful, she loves to laugh, this and that. You always love to dance. That's what I talk about when I say personality. You know who you are more than anyone else. Okay, so your personality has been who you are in every lifetime. Okay, in every lifetime, the same person you are is who you are now. Just that in some lifetimes, there are certain things that you may have encountered that you are not able to be your true self as far as the personality you have, meaning that it's not enhanced, that it may have been dumbed down, or it may have been pushed to the side. Okay, and that's another form of how our freedom has been taken away, because of other people telling us who we can't be, or saying that no, that's not a gift, that's you know, that's not doing anything for you, or something like that. You see what I'm saying? So the anxiety and the depression that I feel is that you feel, when I feel into your energy, it's like you're not able to be your true self. And I feel like it started from your childhood, what I'm picking up on. I feel like you feel ashamed, or you feel sorrow. Like I feel the sorrow in your heart, and it's almost like you would get excited. And I feel like there's times when you were getting messages in your room where you know, I'm looking ahead because I'm looking into spirit, and it's like as if you would get messages coming from spirit on the other side. And I feel like you were dismissed, like you were told, oh no, that's foolishness. Like I know, like a lot of us when we were younger, we would see spirit, and you know, we would like get messages and so on, and you have your imaginary friend and so on. So I feel like during that time you kind of suppressed yourself, and you didn't want to, you didn't feel comfortable being your true self, okay? And I could feel the sadness because it's almost like you feel like no one understands you. No one understands you. No one understands your true, who you are truly. And it's and you're feeling sad and depressed about it because you're holding on to that energy of the past. But now you can give yourself permission to be your true self. You can give yourself permission to follow your passion, okay? Because who you are and what you're here to do and to be is what's going to bring you the most joy, and you won't be sad and depressed anymore. So no matter what it is, I even feel like if you were to go around small children, that will help you to heal what was suppressed within you from when you were a child. And I feel like when you do that, what will happen is you will be fulfilling the things that you always wanted to do that you didn't get to do. And I feel like joy will return back into your heart again and to your soul. Because that's one of the main things that I know in this energy of love is being creative and being in that magical space, just like a child that's fantasizing and thinking about all the beautiful things that they want to do, and they're just in their imagination, and it's in that imagination that we are creating things and being creative, and it brings us the most joy, okay? And it's like lightening up yourself, you know, it's like being able to lighten up yourself and not feeling tight and heavy and burdened by what someone is trying to tell you what to do or where to go or who to love or don't do this and don't love that and don't be that. And it's all those restrictions is what we are just pushing through it right now, okay? In someone trying to tell you not to do this because it's your spiritual gift and you need to go get a job and you need to go work that money. And I'm not saying not to get a job. If it's in your nature to do that, go ahead. But if you know that a part of you feels like your path is leading you towards embracing your spiritual gifts, the abundance and the blessings is going to come from you being and expressing and aligning with your spiritual gifts, okay? Because we are now in that portal again of manifestation, okay? All right, lovely souls. So I'm just going to do a little, not a little, I'm going to do like a transmission. I say, just be centered with me right now and just inhale and exhale. And inhale again wherever you are, even if you're on the toilet or if you're on the bed or if you're taking a bath, wherever you are, just in the car, just, you know, if you're in the car, pull over to the side, of course, because I don't know what's going to come out. And just inhale again and exhale. I'm in gratitude for all of us and what we're here to do and to be. Mother, Father, God, I'm in gratitude for these divine souls and for us and for all those who are here now and for those who hear this after. Thank you for the gifts that are returning to us. Thank you for our strength and the truth. The truth is what sets us free. We're in gratitude for this freedom, the freedom within and the freedom that is outside of us. We're thankful for all of our ancestors that are also healing through this cycle of changes, healing through the old templates of slavery, mental, physical, emotional slavery. We are now taking the shackles off our feet, and we're in gratitude for the power of this Christed energy that is within us, that is giving us and propelling us towards really claiming our true selves. We're in gratitude for these divine sacred unions and that we're remembering them as such in what is coming together for us and what is templating on earth as it is in heaven. We're in gratitude for this oneness and for health and for strength and for wisdom. Asalamikituri salamada chilane kirori bra. Ine mene kuni mela bata sukuni mela sherbete kunira te kilo siname te chekuni mela te kotu miraba. Ila mane kituri sa de pete shekoni la te no kunla te pukutse potome. Anemi uru bira tambara kunira bata shinai pekitolbe. Animina kituli mirate sede katono mirate shikatani kuni mirabati kitusine meketa shikotuni mirakasha kishune mikita karashi kituni mikesha kata shikotuni mirekshikanapa ila makato shikoto mina makata shikato tsuru birakana sekechi shikamera kitarame uni mirabati kitarame yana kutu sila marake sila beto shugumera bakatuni mirapata era merekitana mireku sila merek era mat shugumira tani tondari tandara Hundala min tumtara barandum dar vitera ni shoyandan nea karachatun nimdar island chikitun namdera hainala tendara potundara bikitare kelama hainare no kunera para mi unminare kituni minare kituni minare kituni minare kituni minare kituni minare Ande unnare mi annunniare yonna ne unnare yonnumniare mi nunniare ne annare ne Anne unnare me ne unnare me tonniare pe Ale me undalam de undare bitundare mi nundare mi ne undare mi ne yonna Ani ne nonne ne ne Omne 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 I am in gratitude for each and every one of you. Thank you for joining me. And if anyone would like to have a private session with me, please feel free to send me an email, thegardenofeden1111@gmail.com, or you can feel free to check out my website, www.thereturnofthegardenofeden.com. I'm in gratitude for each and every one of you joining me today on this live. If you don't know me, my name is Sharon Andrea. I forgot to introduce myself, but you know, the soul has taken over. And again, I am in extreme gratitude for strength and for love. Just don't forget to love. Don't forget to laugh. And don't forget to give of yourself. Take your seesaw baths, drink your water, and stay out of self-judgment. And just remember that you are perfect just the way you are, and that you're coming back to your true divinity with oneness and love. Peace be with you. Namaste. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful souls. I gotta figure out how to end it. That's my mom.